Jesus explains the Feast of Trumpets and the 7 Trumpets of God. Is there a connection? A message of understanding. Narrated by Daniel. All scripture references are KJV. Today, as my appearing draws closer, many are evaluating the scriptures in an endeavor to understand the timing of my return. Although this may come as a hard saying, I would like those who consider the commandments of Leviticus 23 as timely to my return to reconsider their current understanding. How can the commandments concerning my feasts fit with the timing of my return? For those days shall be a time of gloominess. Surely I would have mentioned if the commandments concerning my feasts were to be applied to the day and hour of my return. But I did not. And surely I would have mentioned if the Feasts of Trumpets were to be a sign of my coming. But I did not. Firstly, the commandments concerning the feasts of the Lord were given to the children of Israel, and to them only were they to apply, and not to those who believe in me, for you have one sacrifice already given for the forgiveness of sin. Furthermore, Israel has failed in many ways to keep the commandments of Leviticus 23. For just one example, the word booths means tents or temporary dwellings, and Leviticus 23:42-43 commands that the children of Israel were to dwell in booths. Here is the truth. The feasts and trumpets of Leviticus 23 have nothing to do with the 7 trumpets of God that will sound throughout the Great Tribulation, with the 7th trump being the last trump of God that shall sound to announce the rapture. Although many preachers and teachers and writers of end-time studies would like to connect my feasts and the Feast of Trumpets with the timing of end-time events, can anyone find evidence in Scripture to prove they are related? Does anyone think that the Jews will be able to celebrate these events once the Antichrist has caused their daily sacrifice to cease, which is when those in Jerusalem and in Judea must flee? There are so many ways in which it will be impossible for anyone to observe the requirements of Leviticus 23 during the Great Tribulation. Rather, if you will search the Scriptures for an understanding of what my word says, and not try to incorporate man's ideas to form the end-time picture as man would want it to appear, then you will gain a clear understanding of the sequence of events as they are to play out during the time of the end. Here is a synopsis of the end-time picture. Soon, unprecedented events will unfold that will cause all the nations of the world to accept and come under the governing body of the New World Order with its governing council of 10 kings. Once these 10 kings are in place, another king shall arise and subdue 3 of the 10 kings, until all 10 agree to give their allegiance to him. He shall then give the 10 power to rule with him as kings. This is the man of sin, the Antichrist who is to come. As the supreme leader of the New World Order, he shall confirm the Holy Covenant mentioned in Daniel 9:27 and Daniel 11:28 and 30. Although he will not want to be identified with the prophecies of these verses, as those prophecies expose his evil intentions. This confirmation of the covenant will bring peace to the Middle East, enough peace and safety to allow the Jews to rebuild their temple in Jerusalem and resume their daily sacrifice. For these reasons, the Jews will accept this man as their Messiah. And although the Jews will give the appearance of observing the feasts of Leviticus 23 during the first half of Daniel's 70th week, this will all come to a sudden end in the midst of the week, when the Antichrist causes the daily sacrifice to cease and the Great Tribulation begins. Therefore, those of understanding will know that my feasts and the feasts of trumpets mentioned throughout Leviticus 23 have no relationship with the day of my appearing and the hour of the resurrection that shall take place on the last day, immediately after the tribulation. Once again, trying to introduce pieces of a jigsaw into a puzzle where they do not belong simply because they have some similarities, and then trying to force those pieces into the puzzle where they do not belong, will only serve to distort the picture that I want you to understand. If you would like to know more about end-time events, then please visit endtimesofficial.com. That's endtimesofficial.com. There you will find a wealth of information. Then please share the knowledge. Thank you, and God bless.